Hello, welcome to Scrap Time episode 1014. My name is Christine, and on today's episode I'm showing you some of my new word stencils. So today I am showing you 3 new stencil designs that I've come up with, and all of these are available for sale through my Etsy site called Scrap Time Shop. Now this first set is a set of 4 circles, and I drew these circles with a marker and then I just enlarged them in that. I make all these using my Scan and Cut, and I use a stencil film for the actual stencil. And so this is very durable and it can be reused over and over again. So as I said, the first set are 4 circles. And this is what it looks like once you use it. And I did them small, and so they're like an A2 size. So it's easy that you could like stencil and just sort of move it around your page. They're easy to work with. And then you get 4 different sized circles. And I overlapped them on purpose because I thought it just gives it more interest when you have sort of this overlapping of the circles. My next set is a set of words. You get the stencil as well as you get the masks. And you can see that cut from the film, it's still very durable. And I'll show you what it looks like all done. So this is what it looks like when you use the stencil portion. So it will be filled in here. It's not outlined. So all the sort of holes are all solid. And you can use the mask. And then you can see how you can get like the insides of all those when you use the mask. And I used acrylic paint with a sponge for all of these. Now my third set are smaller words. I was trying to think of some words for card makers. And what I did is I did 2 sizes of the words. So it's a small and then a little larger. They're all sort of attached here. But of course I have them all done. So you get the mask and the stencil for all the words. Let me just show you what it looks like. So this is when you use the stencil. So you can see I have a small hello and a big hello. And then thanks, celebrate, and happy birthday. Those are the words you get. So you get a total of 10 words, 2 sizes of each word. And then you can use the masks as well. But on some of the smaller ones, it's a very small mask. So you have to make sure your medium is quite dry. Otherwise it will go under there because it's such a little mask. These work better as stencil form. So I'm going to show you some projects I made. So here I used the celebrate down there. And here I did hello, but I did it with a medium that was a little bit more wet. And so you can see the blue sort of went out, but I simply just wrote over top of it. And the blue just gives it a nice base. So if that was to happen, you could still use it. This is just one of the big circles. Here I've done the circles around the edge and then the word love. Again, I used the circles and then thanks, and you can see how nice the thanks turned out. Here I used little circles and big circles, and then I used the mask and just put the black so that color pops through and you can still read that it says art. So here I used the mask, and that thanks isn't too bad, but you can see it. Oh, that's actually just the dot underneath. So it worked pretty good. Those little dots are the dots that are coming through. Here I used the mask on happy birthday, just so you get the idea. And then the stencil of thanks, the larger thanks. And the larger hello with the circles. And then I did one art journal page to show you. And again, I used the circles around the edge And then just one way you can use the word like create, and then I added take time to on top and then create. And I'm going to just show you how I use those words. So I have this card I was working on in the previous episode. And I'm going to use love. Love is always good. I'm going to go with the bigger stencil to show you. And I think I'll put it up here. So these stencils are good because you can see through them. So you can still place it wherever you want. And what I do is I take my paint, I'm going to do black, and put it either on a palette sheet or craft mat, whatever you have, and I use a sponge with it. Now, if you're afraid of it moving, you could always use some washi tape and tape it down. I just wing it, I just hold on to it. So I do my sponge. Now what I do is I put that first layer of black on, and what I like to do then is take my heat gun. Now you don't want to heat it too much because you don't want to melt the mask, but I just want to dry that paint a bit. Just like that. And now I can go in and put a second layer of paint on, and I find it just gives you a darker image. But if you put the second layer on while it's still wet, then it's just going to take the paint off and you're not going to get that nice dark image. So like that, I'm going to reveal, and we have love there. I'm going to dry that. Now because I was doing it over the gesso and that, a little bit went out. But what you could always do is grab a pen, and you can just go over with like a black pen and just sort of smooth out your edges. Especially if you have a paint pen or something, would work really well. So if those bumpy edges bug you, you can just smooth them out. And this is a great way to add more of that artsy word rather than just a stamped word to your projects. So you can just smooth it out with your pen. So those are my stencils. I'll show you the It's the sentiments, the art journal words, and the 4 circles. And once again, they're available on my Etsy site at Scrap Time Shop. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I'm showing you the We Are Memory Keepers scoreboard and triangle score tool. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.